Today, let's look at these two calisthenics strength combos, and I'm going to show you how you can break them down to your level and do the thing today. So number one is the handstand down to frog or crow position, and then number two is this straddle position. So here, then we're going to come forwards, straddle up to this position, up onto tiptoes, and then press to handstand. So you could say that second one is a straight arm strength combo, and the first one is a bent arm strength combo. Let's first look at that second one. So that's coming from a straddle position. We need to have a certain amount of straddle flexibility to be able to put the hands underneath, get the head and shoulders past the feet, and be able to stand up into that position. If we don't have the flexibility to do it, we're going to be in this position and we literally can't get enough weight forwards. So the best way to make that easier is to elevate the hips, elevate the hands. So now this is easily scalable to your level. It could be very high, it could be very low. Whichever version you're going to do, you need to be able to put your hands down and push your shoulders past your feet and stand all the way up. So that's half the movement. The second half of the movement was to go into an arm balance or a handstand. Now, if we don't have the press to handstand and we can't go up from there, we could make it easier by using momentum. I could do a jump up to my handstand. If I don't have a handstand balance or I don't have the jump to handstand, I could take the head to the floor, go into a headstand position and then press up to there and back down again. So if we've done the full sequence with those options, it would be elevating the hips up to a level where you can get up, pass through into the headstand, press up to your headstand, and then you can reverse it back down to your start position. A different variation would be to go up to that position, but instead of going to headstand, we bring the knees towards the elbows and we come into our crow or frog position. Then I can take the legs back out, find the mat or the box, then come back to that start position. Next, let's look at this handstand to crow. So I'm going to do a different variation than I normally use when I'm teaching this one that's going to open it up for a few more people. So we need a box or a wall or a bench, something to put your feet onto. You could use a chair. And then I'm just going to go into the top of a push-up position. So here, now we need to be nice and strong in that upper body. We don't want to feel like all our weight is back in towards our feet. I want to make sure that I'm in this position. I'm even pushing up to a bit of protraction. So I'm not drop down like this. I'm pushing up, round in that upper back, lots of weight in the hands. And then I'm just going to see if I can take one knee to one elbow, the other knee to the other elbow. Now notice what I'm doing when I go in that direction, that I'm moving the shoulders forwards and placing more weight in the hands. Because think our goal is to get all the weight into the hands and we can take the feet off the box. If when I do that movement, I load back into the box like this, then I can't get weight this way forwards because all my weight's going backwards. I think we need to try and make our toes light. Now, as long as we have this frog or crow position that we're aiming for, we need to be able to hold this position if that's our end goal. Then I can try stepping off the box to my bent arm. So I'm starting to bend the arm to make a shelf for that knee, lean forwards even further, and then I can bring the other foot across. If we don't do that lean forwards, that weight in this direction, as the foot comes off, it's just going to fall down. And if that feels okay, if you go into your frog or crow position, you can try extending the leg backwards. Now, when I do that, I do the same thing. Head and shoulders go forwards and down a little bit to compensate for the leg going backwards behind me. But that's where, when you're learning, it's probably easier to start on the box, feel the body having to go forwards, then you can go back to the box like that. If you're a bit stronger, a bit more confident on your hands, you can go into more of a pike position. So like you can do a pike push up. And now from the get-go, I've already got more weight in my hands because of more the inverted position. Now I can do the same exercise where I come up and down. And then if that feels okay, I can load and see if I can step into that position and then try and get back as well. And if you're up to that level where you can do this type of height, you can probably start to do the wall version. So the wall version is exactly the same. But we're here now, I can go from more of a handstand position and I'm stepping down to that elbow, down on the other side. And then you can just play around with the progressions that fit you, and you can even link them together. So you could do that one off the floor or off the raised platform for the straddle up. You could come across to the crow position. You could crow up to your handstand. You could come back down to your crow, open to your straddle position, come back down again, lift back up, take the head to the floor, go into your headstand press, even push up to handstand from there, come back down again. So you can see there's just so many different combinations that you could do. They'll also help you assess what you need to work on. So if you want to get that handstand balance, so it can help you unlock the start position before you come down for the crow, you obviously need to start working on the drills to increase that balance window so you can kick up to a freestanding handstand. You've got all the press drills, you've got all the handstand push-up drills. And obviously the mobility to get into these positions is not only going to allow you to do things like the straddle up into positions, but that's going to make the process or the path to the press handstand much, much easier if you have that flexibility. Let me know down in the comments if you have any questions with this one. If you're after more help with your training, check out my app, link is down in the description. I'll speak to you in the next one.